Hi guys, today we're doing a comparison video on two cameras whose reviews have been popular on the channel. That is the Canon 77D and the Canon 7D Mark II. We're going to compare specs, photos, discuss what they're good for, what they're not so good for, and which one you should buy, if any. So you know, the B-roll on the Canon 77D has been shot on a different 77D with an 18 to 55mm kit lens. The B-roll of the 7D Mark II has been shot on the Canon R5 with the RF 15 to 35mm f2.8L lens. You can find reviews of these on the channel as well. And now, let's begin. Like with most other DSLRs, the 77D and 7D Mark II are usually sold without a lens. In the box you'll usually find the camera body, a battery, a charger, and maybe a camera strap. The reason for this is that you might want to buy a different lens for it, as opposed to the 18 to 55mm kit lens that most people start out with. Whilst the 18 to 55mm is indeed a good lens to start off with, both these cameras are compatible with the EF/EFS mount system. As a result, you can basically use most of Canon's lenses from a nearly inexhaustible list. I've linked a playlist down below to some of my other Canon lens reviews, so feel free to check that out. Now, let's have a look at the size and build of both cameras. The 77D measures 131 by 100 by 76mm and weighs in at only 540 grams or 19 ounces, including battery. The 7D Mark II, on the other hand, measures 149 by 112 by 78mm and weighs in at a whopping 910 grams or 32 ounces. Now, is the fact that the Mark II is heavier a bad thing? I personally don't think so, as I feel like a larger, heavier camera feels more pro in my hands. Do bear in mind that I am a rather large man and I lift weights regularly, so my perception of the camera's weight will be affected by that. If you'd prefer a smaller camera, the 77D clearly wins out in this case, as it's nearly half the weight and a bit smaller in terms of size. When it comes to sensors, both cameras have CMOS sensors of similar size, although the 7D Mark II only offers around 20 megapixels, whilst the Canon 77D offers about 24 megapixels. This is to be expected, given that the 7D Mark II is about 3 years older. Whilst a nearly 20% difference sounds like quite a bit, chances are you're not really going to notice a difference under most circumstances. The 77D technically wins out on that, but I would argue that this would make no difference to most users. Given that the 77D is a newer camera, it also sports the Digic 7, which should, in theory, give you less noise when shooting in low light, compared to the older Digic 6 on the 7D Mark II. With that in mind, the Mark II does have two separate Digic 6 processors. Even though this should improve shooting performance, I'm not sure if it makes any difference in terms of noise. When it comes to autofocus, the 7D Mark II takes the upper hand with 65 cross-type focus points, as opposed to the 77D's 45 points. They both have dual pixel autofocus though, so that's great. The Mark II also has the advantage when it comes to shooting sports, as it can do 10 frames a second continuous shooting, as opposed to the 77D's 6 FPS. In addition to that, its mechanical shutter can do 1/8000th of a second, compared to the 1/4000th of a second that the 77D can do, allowing you to capture faster moving subjects. Even though the 77D has the upper hand generally when it comes to image quality, I'll show you some photos I've taken with both cameras. I'll argue that you won't see any striking differences when accounting for the fact that the images were shot in different locations, under different lighting conditions, etc. By the way, if you're finding this video to be helpful, don't forget to leave a like, as it'll help with the algorithm and other people will be able to find this video as well. And now, back to the video. When it comes to a display, both cameras come with a 3-inch screen on the back, although in the case of the 77D, it is articulated and touch sensitive. The 7D Mark II, on the other hand, has a fixed screen and it is not touch sensitive either. If you want to vlog, this fact alone would most likely disqualify the 7D Mark II. In terms of a top display, both also have one. Different photographers dispute whether you really need those or not, but both cameras have them, and I think they look really cool, especially the one on the 7D Mark II. In fact, this is one of the few complaints I have when it comes to my much more expensive Canon R5. If you look at the top display, it's square and feels kind of cramped. That makes sense because of the design of the camera, but still, a part of me wishes I could have the massive top LCD on the R5 as well. In terms of buttons and all that great stuff, there's nothing particularly noteworthy about either, except for the fact that the 7D Mark II has a wheel on the back, which allows you to easily navigate through your photos. It also has some buttons on the left-hand side, which had to be moved on the 77D, as that is where the screen hinge is. All in all, if you've held a Canon camera before, everything is more or less where it should be. In terms of storage, the 7D Mark II clearly wins out, as it has 2 card slots instead of only 1, like the 77D. The Mark II has an SD card slot and a compact flash or UDMA slot. The advantage of this is that photos and videos can be saved to both cards, thus giving you a backup in case one of them fails. If you shoot professionally, a dual card slot will save you a lot of anxiety when doing jobs. The batteries on both cameras are rated for around 600 photos each. Given that the batteries might be a few years old at this point, as you're likely to buy either of these cameras used, that number will likely be lower. Having a few extra batteries is the easiest solution to this problem. The shutter count on the 7D Mark II is rated at 200,000, whilst on the 77D it's 100,000. Given that the Mark II is older by a few years, the lower number on the 77D no longer looks so bad. To clarify, the shutter count or maximum number of actuations is how many photos you can take before the shutter theoretically fails. When buying a camera second-hand, it's always best to check what the shutter count is, and to double check once you have the camera in your hands. If an online seller refuses to tell you what the number is, or claims they don't know, the number is probably close to the maximum, so it's best to just look elsewhere. The 7D also has the added advantage of having some environmental sealing. I wouldn't use it in the rain, but theoretically at least, it can withstand more of the elements than the 77D can. In terms of video, they both have dual pixel AF, and can both shoot at 1080p at a maximum of 60 frames a second. Like all good cameras today, Canon has included plenty of video features in the EOS 77D. On paper they're basically identical when it comes to video, but given that the 77D is newer, I give it the edge when it comes to that. The 77D technically also has a further advantage when it comes to video, and that is in-body digital image stabilization. I'd personally never touch that, as the camera has to crop the image in order to stabilize the footage, and once it's done that, you'll lose some of the quality. You're always going to be better off just filming shakier footage and then stabilizing it in Premiere or whatever you use for editing, as you'll always have the original footage, and software stabilization is always getting better. Obviously, all of the footage of the 77D that you've seen in this video has been shot on a 77D, so you know it can do a good job. To be fair, I'll also include some footage shot on the 7D Mark II. Just bear in mind that this was shot on a 75 to 300mm lens, with no in-lens stabilization, and freehand, so the footage is bound to be a bit shaky. In terms of versatility, both of these cameras are absolute workhorses, even though I give the 77D an edge when it comes to video. You can use them for portrait photography, events, video and even sports, although the 7D Mark II takes the edge there due to the slightly faster continuous shooting capability. In conclusion, which one should you buy? These two cameras are relatively similar, each having its own advantages. If you want to shoot mainly video, especially if you want to vlog, I get the 77D, even though it only has one card slot. If you want to shoot photos professionally with a bit of video here and there, the 7D Mark II is the better option, precisely because of the dual card slot. Either camera is good if you both want to buy a mid-level DSLR or if you want to upgrade from an entry-level camera like a Rebel series. If you're willing to spend more money, have a look at my review of the Canon R, or even the R5 if money is no object. Do you have any questions? Don't forget to leave them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you'd like to have a look at any of the products mentioned in this video, or you would like to know how much they cost in your country, you can find affiliate links down below. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.